Hey everyone, GMOs, genetically modified organisms, are in your food, your news, and maybe even your debates at the dinner table. But what are they? Are they Frankenfoods or a scientific superhero saving the planet? Today we're diving deep into GMOs, what they are, how they're made, their benefits, their risks, and why they spark so much controversy. Stick around because by the end, you'll have the facts to decide for yourself. Hit that subscribe button and let's get started. So what's a GMO? Imagine a plant's DNA as a cookbook. A GMO is when scientists add or tweak a recipe in that cookbook to make the plant do something cool, like resist pests or grow faster. Officially, a GMO is any organism whose genetic material has been altered using genetic engineering techniques. This isn't the same as traditional breeding, where farmers cross plants over generations. Genetic engineering is like copy-pasting a specific gene from one organism to another. For example, Bt corn has a gene from a soil bacterium that makes it produce a protein toxic to certain pests. No more bug damage. About 90% of corn and soybeans in the US are GMOs, so you've probably eaten them in cereal, chips, or tofu. Fun fact, humans have been modifying plants for 10,000 years through selective breeding. GMOs just speed up the process with laser precision. But how do they do it? Let's find out. Making a GMO is like high-tech gardening. Scientists identify a useful trait, like drought resistance, find the gene responsible, and insert it into a plant's DNA. Here's the simplified recipe. Find the gene. Scientists pick a gene from another organism, like a bacterium or another plant, that has the trait they want. Insert the gene. Using tools like CRISPR or a gene gun, they add the gene to the plant's DNA. CRISPR is like a molecular pair of scissors that cuts and pastes DNA with incredible accuracy. Grow and test. The modified plant is grown and tested to ensure it's safe and works as intended. Did you know? The first GMO was a tomato in 1994 called the Flavor Saver, designed to stay fresh longer. It wasn't a huge hit, but it kicked off the GMO era. Today, crops like papaya, squash, and even some apples are GMOs, engineered to resist diseases or browning. Why bother with GMOs? 3 big reasons. More food, less land. With the world population expected to hit 9.7 billion by 2050, we need to grow more food without destroying forests. GMOs like drought-resistant maize or pest-resistant rice can boost yields by 20 to 30% in some cases. Fewer chemicals. GMO crops like Bt corn need less pesticide because they fight bugs naturally. That's better for the environment and farmers' wallets. Tougher crops. GMOs can survive harsh conditions. Think floods, droughts, or salty soil. For example, Bangladesh grows GMO eggplant that resists pests, saving farmers from crop losses and reducing pesticide use by up to 50%. Mind-blowing stat. GMO crops have increased global food production enough to feed an extra 100 million people annually. But if GMOs are so great, why are people worried? Let's talk about that. GMOs are a hot topic. Some call them a miracle, others call them dangerous. So, are they safe? Let's break it down. Safety for humans. Over 2,000 studies, including those by the National Academy of Sciences, say GMOs currently on the market are safe to eat. They go through rigorous testing, more than non-GMO foods before hitting shelves. No credible evidence links GMOs to health issues like allergies or cancer. Environmental concerns. Critics worry GMOs could crossbreed with wild plants, creating superweeds. This has happened in some cases, but it's rare and manageable. Another concern is that GMO crops might reduce biodiversity by dominating fields. However, by reducing pesticide use, GMOs can actually help local ecosystems. Corporate control. Companies like Monsanto dominate the GMO seed market, and some farmers feel trapped into buying their seeds. This isn't a science issue, but a socio-economic one, and it fuels a lot of the anti-GMO vibe. Here's a twist. Golden rice, a GMO, was engineered to produce vitamin A to fight malnutrition in developing countries. It saved millions from blindness and death, yet some groups still oppose it. Why? Fear of the unknown and distrust of biotech. Let's tackle some common myths. Myth 1. GMOs cause cancer. No evidence supports this. Decades of data show GMO foods are as safe as conventional ones. Myth 2. GMOs are unnatural. All farming involves human intervention. Even organic crops are bred for specific traits. GMOs just use a different tool. Myth 3. Non-GMO is always healthier. Non-GMO doesn't mean pesticide-free or more nutritious. In fact, some GMOs, like golden rice, are more nutritious. Quick tip: look for labels like USDA Organic or Non-GMO Project Verified if you want to avoid GMOs, but know that doesn't automatically make your food safer or better. GMOs are just getting started. Scientists are working on crops that can survive climate change, like heat-tolerant wheat or flood-resistant rice. They're even developing plants that absorb more carbon to fight global warming. Imagine a future where your apple doesn't brown, your wheat thrives in a drought, or your rice prevents disease, all thanks to genetic engineering. But the debate isn't going away. As CRISPR makes gene editing easier, we'll need to balance innovation with ethics. Should we edit animals or even humans next? That's a conversation for another video. So there you have it, the truth about GMOs. They're not perfect, but they're not monsters either. They're a tool, one that's feeding millions and could do even more. What do you think? Are GMOs the future of food, or should we stick to traditional farming? Drop your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Don't forget to subscribe for more science deep dives. See you next time.